We're here to talk about Charlamagne, and obviously the topic is sexual assault on Monday, July, whatever day it was. I don't even know what day it is. I don't be knowing the days. It's like the ninth, right? The ninth. Yeah, that sounds right. So on Monday, July the ninth, Star posted an interview that he had with a young lady who said that Charlamagne sexually assaulted her when she was 15 years old and he was 22. Star also had some police documents and warrant, looked like a warrant for Charlemagne's arrest. Um, so obviously, it's something that Charlamagne talked about in the past. It's like he tried to get ahead of it and put his story out there for the world. He wrote about it in his book. I heard. He's also talked about it on podcasts and Breakfast Club. But there's definitely some holes in his story, and that's more or less what we're trying to talk about today. Not so much, the allegation itself, because I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, didn't know about it, so I can't really speak on that too much. But I can speak on what we do know for sure, and what we do know is that a 22-year-old Charlemagne was definitely trying to befriend a 15-year-old girl and invited her to a party where she got drunk and probably impaired off other drugs that maybe she didn't even know she was taking. I'm looking at you, Rick Ross. Molly Allen, yeah, you ain't low. So they calling the man Shar Kelly, you know what I'm saying, for because she allegedly said that he was the one that made the drinks. But let's back up before we get into that. I think this story starts when he was 8 years old. And Charlemagne said that when he was eight, he um he was molested by his cousin's ex-wife now, and he said he didn't say anything because he liked it. The real nigga shit. you know, I mean, eight's kind of young. Eight might be a little bit too young for me. But if I was like 14 or 15 and some older woman was doing what for me, hey, I'm not gonna say why does Melvin Fraser look like my God. Anyway, I'm watching Orlando Magic. That's my team, by the way. But so yeah, I'm sitting there like, okay, if I was 14 or 15, I'd probably feel the same way. But he was eight, and he said, he had a little story about how he was molested when he was eight, and he enjoyed it, and he didn't, he stopped her. The only time he stopped her was when she got a Jerry curl, and he didn't like the smell. Weird nigga shit. But I say all that because at the end of the interview, he said something that was kind of wild to me. He said it didn't turn me. I don't think it turned me into a Harvey Weinstein type, but it did give me, or I do have a healthy sexual appetite. Like basically, his sex drives, on 1,000 in his words, which is okay. But I feel like a lot of people have a healthy sexual appetite, you know. So I felt like the correlation between that being hypersexual and being molested was one that he kind of made on his own. That he didn't have to make. I understand, the theory that if you get molested, it could, do this, that, or the other. But the way he said it, I I don't think it turned me into a Harvey Weinstein type, but it did give me a healthy sexual appetite. The way he said that made me feel like he was almost trying to convince himself that he wasn't a Harvey Weinstein type. And remind you, this interview was after he's established, after he's a grown man, successful, obviously. So in my mind, it kind of felt like he knows he has some demons, some skeletons from the past, and he's trying to convince himself that he's not this monster that these other guys that are getting caught up in the Me Too movement appear to be. He's not Bill Cosby. He's not Harvey Weinstein. He's not C.K. Lewis. He's not the guy that grabbed Terry Crews by the genitals. But No, let me stop playing because this isn't a joking matter. But if you get to know me, you know I do like to joke about stuff that isn't really a joking matter. But I'm trying to be serious for once, you know. So I feel like he was trying to convince himself that he's not that type of person, and that's a liar's tactic. That's what liars do. You know, not we. I'm not a liar. Well, I just lied. See, I just lied for no reason. I just lied for no reason. Of course, I'm a liar. Everybody's a liar. You know when you lie. You know, you say some stuff that's not true for no reason at all, and you're just like, why am I lying? You know, somebody be like, what color sauce you got on? Be like, green. You got on like red sauce. Anyway, I digress. That's what they like to say. Charlamagne kind of seems like he was trying to convince himself that he's not that. And that's what liars tend to do. They try to make things that they've done seem like they weren't so bad. So let's fast forward to 2001 when this whole thing went down allegedly or whatever. There's an interview out there with academics and Charlamagne where Ack was just having a regular interview and Charlamagne just volunteered the information and said, hey, I had a rape charge. No, I don't play like that because I had a rape charge. I'm like, okay, bro. Like, first of all, I didn't ask you all that, but cool. Since you want to divulge that information, feel free to share it with the class. So Charlamagne shared with the class and he told his story about this alleged incident. Things that he said that didn't make sense, though. He said when he was in 2001, he said, I was 20 years old. First and foremost, nigga, your birthday is very public information. Everybody knows how old you are. Everybody can do simple math. You were born in 1978. The simplest of simples, the kid that went to third grade 3 years in a row can tell you what 78 plus 20 is. And it damn sure ain't nothing with 01. 78 plus 20 is 98. In 1998, you were 20 years old. It's 2001. You're clearly not 20 years old in 2001. You would be 20 years old, maybe if you were born in 1981. You were born in 78. You don't forget your birthday. So the fact that you lied to academics about how old you were when this whole thing happened lets me know that you're just a pathological liar in general. In life, you're just lying. You lie your way through life because that's what people do when they lie a lot. They just tell themselves a lie to the point where they just start believing the lie. And that's what he's doing. He's like, I was 20. In my mind, I'm 20 years old in 2001. That's what he's saying. It's like, no, bro, like it's not your mind. This is real life. In real life, you were 22, at least. Your birthday's coming up. You're going to be 23 in 2001. It's okay. Why lie about that? Because no matter what, her age is the same thing. Her age is 15. She said she was 15 when this happened. He acknowledged basically she was 15 when this happened. So you lying about your age by 2 years. 2 years that don't matter because 20 or 22, it's still statutory rape if you had sex with her. So no matter what, it's the same crime. So you're lying about that lets me know that you're just trying to make it sound not as bad. Which is probably why he didn't go too hard on Tekashi 6ix9ine because he's like, shit, I can't say anything to this young brother because I basically was doing the same thing. And I was older than he was. Tekashi was still in his teens. Charlamagne was a grown-ass man at this point. So he is one of those guys. He seems to be one of those people that just lies to make things seem like it wasn't as bad as it really was. Also in the interview, he said, I wasn't old enough to buy liquor. So, I got a crackhead. Maybe I got a crackhead to buy the liquor, for the party. All right, man. First and foremost, you remember this party, nigga. You remember this party. You remember this party, nigga. You do not forget a party like this. You don't forget having to get your hair DNA and all that stuff swabbed, to clear your name of a rape allegation. You don't forget that. You don't forget the year. You don't forget the month. You don't forget the day. You don't forget the weather. You don't forget whether it rained. You don't forget none of that. So you damn sure don't forget who bought the liquor. You bought the liquor, nigga, because you know why? Because you were 22 years old, which means you were old enough to buy the liquor. Why would you have somebody else buy the liquor when you're old enough to buy the liquor? Why are you lying about this? Why are you lying about that, of all things? Nigga, that's what you pleaded to. You pled basically guilty to basically giving drinks to a minor. Own that shit. Why are you lying? That didn't make sense to me. So, again, just lies for no reason. These lies don't have anything to do with the end result of the story. You're just lying to lie. And that's what pathological liars do. That's my issue with Charlamagne. Everything else is going to, come out over time, or it's not going to come out. I say that because Charlamagne is one of those token Negroes that is kind of under protection. These people don't really want us to, they don't want anybody to get Charlamagne out the paint, because then they'd have to have somebody else to put in that Charlamagne role, somebody else that they can manipulate and, basically, use as a puppet. And they don't want to have to do that. You don't want to groom somebody else when you already have somebody else in that role that's thriving and very successful. He's very successful and he's very good at what he does. This isn't a hate Charlamagne post. I'm not hating on Charlamagne in his profession. I've learned things from Charlamagne, so it's not that type of party. But I don't know if he's going to be under pressure with this. Right now, he's under social media pressure. People are on YouTube, of course, message boards, really getting on him, trying to figure out what's going on with the situation and hoping that he at least addresses it. But until the temperature gets really hot, that's not going to happen. I don't know if this has been on the Shade Room or any of those other outlets that are always quick to jump on every little gossip topic there is, but it doesn't seem like they're too eager to jump on that right now, and I'm okay with that. But it's going to be interesting to see if they ever do jump on it or if they try to let this die down because it's Charlamagne and the connects. So that's going to be the next thing. But for me, it's all about the lies. Stop lying. He said he went to the police station voluntarily. They didn't even have a warrant out for his arrest. He just went to the police station and it was like, yo, I'll take responsibility for any and everything that happened at the house that night. Nigga, please. Get the... Boy, if you don't out here with that... No man alive is going to just walk up to the police station and say, I take a responsibility for everything. I wasn't there, though. Like, nigga, who... Come on, dog. Like, who do you even think you fooling, dog? Nobody's going for that. Nobody's going for that. Nobody's believing that that's even real. That's not even like some movie stuff. There's a warrant for your arrest with your name on it, and either they came and got you, or once you knew they had a warrant, they called you, you went then. Again, you don't have to lie about that. You're lying about this to make it seem like it was no big deal. I wasn't even really there. I had nothing to do with these girls getting drunk. Yeah, I knew them, but I had a whole bunch of girls at the party, which the girl says is a lie. The girl said there was only a few girls at the party. Again, I don't know. That part I can't. I try hard not to build a bias when it comes down to stuff like that, because I don't know. I do not know who was at the party. And I hope that you don't build a bias to that either, because I don't, we don't know. Certain stuff we don't know. Let's try to stick to the stuff that we do know and go from there. And that's hard to do because I'm assuming in this video. Like you can tell my tone. I'm not happy with Charlamagne because I think he's a liar. I'm not saying he's a rapist. I'm not saying anything like that. But in my mind, I wouldn't be surprised if it was true. Because he's lying about stuff that he doesn't even need to lie about. So if you're lying about something that small, it's probably a good, safe bet. Boy, sorry. It was probably a safe bet that you're lying, that you would lie about something you need to lie about. Like, if you're gonna lie about something small, why wouldn't you lie about something big like that? Hell yeah, I'm lying about everything. If I'm lying about how old I was, I'm lying about the whole night. Believe that, Jack. The whole night, I'm lying about everything. But again, we'll find out. All I want from Charlamagne is to come out, either on the Breakfast Club or on the Brilliant Idiots, preferably the Breakfast Club, because I don't even want to listen to Brilliant Idiots. I don't really like the podcast all that much. I'm not a fan of Andrew. Not really a fan of Charlamagne either on that forum. I like him as an interviewer. I don't really like him as somebody talking about trending topics because I just don't. But that's neither here nor there. Where'd that come from? I don't know where that phrase came from. It's neither here nor there. Who was the first person to say that? I don't know. I was the last one to say it though, until like 2 seconds from now. But anyway, all I want again is for Charlamagne to come out and explain the lies. Clarify some things for us. And everything else is everything else. I don't think he's going to be in any real trouble for this. Because DNA already kind of, I wouldn't say cleared him, but they didn't find any DNA, any of his DNA on her. So that means, I don't know how DNA tests work because I've never been, accused of sexual assault or anything like that, Halo over my head. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know how DNA tests work. But I don't know if you have a condom on and you just hit her through the boxes. I don't know if you can leave DNA on her still. Like if you just touch her with your hands, leave DNA. I don't know. So maybe one of y'all forensic science experts can tell me in the comments how DNA tests work, and if there's no DNA from you, if you're just 100% innocent, or if there's still room for, maybe, you just were having safe sex. I don't know. So somebody tell me that. One of y'all hook me up. I'm here to learn, One thing I tell you about my shows and my podcast, I don't want to come off like I know everything, because I don't. I'm just an opinionated person, and I have a way of getting my point across. That's all I am. I have a little knowledge about a lot of stuff, but I'm not an expert on anything. So this is this is an interactive thing to me. I need people to tell me where I'm wrong, fill in the holes, in the stuff that I'm saying, and make me a better person, make me smarter. We build each other up that way. As a society, I think that's what we should do. I think everybody needs to stop acting like they're experts on things, like you go to sleep and then you wake up and then you look at the headline and then you're suddenly an expert on that topic. You didn't go to school for this. You didn't study it. You don't look at it on YouTube. Nothing. You just assume that you know everything about that, about criminal law or whatnot. And stop doing that. We're not experts. None of us are experts. Very few of us are experts. Most of the experts are too busy doing the work that experts do to make videos about it. So just know that, self-awareness is a key. But we at 20 minutes, so I'm about to cut this off. My podcast is usually like 2 hours, so I could go on for a long time. But this is just the first of many videos. Hopefully you'll tune into all of those. Subscribe to my page, comment. You can follow me on Twitter where I'm super active, probably too active for somebody that has a full-time job. But you can follow me on Twitter, JRod813. You can follow me on Instagram, JRod813. I'm not a very vain person, so I don't really post a lot on Instagram, but I'm going to start doing it more often, Yeah, I'm not one of those, ooh, look at me, I'm in Vegas, type of niggas anymore. I was like 2, 3 years ago, you know what I'm saying? I used to post all my traveling pics and stuff like that on Instagram, but I try not to do that anymore because, that's a topic for another conversation in another video, man. My name is J Rod, aka Dash. Hope you guys have a great day. Talk to me about Charlamagne. Hopefully, we see something come out of this. Like I said, hopefully he gets on record, clears up some lies about his age. Just say you was 22, dog. Like, just say you was 22. Say you bought the liquor, and let's move on from there. All right.